So I'm Kate, I'm the project manager for the EVA service at Harbour Housing. So about 5 years ago we recognised an increase in female referrals, but also recognised that women were reluctant to take up our accommodation. And after some research we realised there was a need to create women-only accommodation and also women-only spaces within our mixed accommodation. So we set about renovating a garage into 3 flats, thinking that maybe 1 or 2 of them would be taken up, and within a week they were all full, and within that month I think we had something like 30 referrals. So very quickly we realised there was a need, and what was predominant across all of the women that were referred was that they were fleeing domestic abuse, or that they'd experienced some form of abuse in their past, and they were also suffering from addiction or a mental health issue, or had an offending history, and all of the other types of needs that we house across our other projects. So EVA stands for Escaping Violence and Abuse. We recognise that many people who experience homelessness or substance dependency issues, or have a history of offending behaviour, for example, have usually experienced domestic abuse or some form of trauma. Therefore, we wanted to make sure that our women-only accommodation was responsive to those traumatic experiences, and also was inclusive for people who did have those issues around substance misuse or offending behaviour, or mental health issues that made it difficult for them to maintain a tenancy elsewhere.
Hi, I'm BIMINI Love, and I'm a trustee of Harbour Housing. Through connecting with Harbour on a project for homeless women, I was drawn to the way that they aim to embed diversity within their services. I am particularly keen to support the EVA project in nurturing equality for service for those fleeing domestic abuse, sexual violence and exploitation, and lessening the discrimination often faced by people experiencing multiple disadvantage.
Not just for myself, but for the majority of us, we have some mental health conditions because of the nature of why we're here, and that taps into that vulnerability.
When I first came to Harbour Housing, I really needed patience and tolerance. I was in a bad way from an abusive and dangerous relationship that I've been stuck in, and it made me really fearful who I was able to trust. I wasn't judged for my addiction issues when I came here. Instead, they took time to really build a positive relationship with me and supported me to engage with all the services on offer at my own pace.
So unlike the traditional refuge model, we offer something called elastic tolerance. So this means we can have patience with someone who is still in substance misuse. We can work with people who have mental health issues, and actually also work with people who are struggling to break off a relationship with the person who's abused them.
I was all over the place probably for the first sort of 10 months or so, and then, and I needed that at the start. I needed, if it was somewhere where they have like an elastic tolerance on sort of substances, and had they not had that, I would have just been homeless again.
So from the outset, we designed the women-only accommodation that we have to be trauma-informed, and then I was really keen, as women started to move in, to work with them to co-produce really like a trauma-responsive environment for them. And one of the things that came up was slamming of doors. So we created ways that the fire doors would close more easily, and also created posters around remembering not to let the doors slam, because this can bring up traumatic incidents for people. Another thing was around personal space. So we created the door hangers where people can indicate whether they want to be visited or not that day. And all of these things are continually being co-produced with residents at house meetings and through one-to-one sessions.
Oh, this house, when I first came here, I didn't think I ever wanted to leave. And I remember about sort of 6 months ago, I sort of said to my key worker, because I noticed some people were moving on, and I sort of said, I'm not really ready to move on, I wanted to stay a bit longer, but it was just lovely. It's all women, it's just calmer, I can't explain, it just feels safe.
For me, it's a peaceful environment. That is how I found it. And the way that it's situated, so you share your flat with another flatmate and you share a kitchen but you have your own little flat, I find it really beneficial, and I think it will be for anyone that really suffers with anxiety, because there are times when you do want to close the door and not really be involved with too many people, and you have that option here to do that. But also the surroundings are lovely as well also, and where my room is, I can open the window and I can hear the little fountain in the garden, and that is really therapeutic. I think the sound of water, it is. So I actually love it here, I really do.
So as well as tailored one-to-one support, our model aims to offer lots of positive opportunities for engagement. So we have a counsellor who offers a range of therapeutic interventions, including hypnotherapy. So even if someone isn't at a stage where they want to talk about their traumatic experiences from the past, they can still engage in therapeutic and holistic sessions to support them. We offer women-only art groups, excursions, volunteering opportunities, and really the aim there is to increase self-esteem and to help women to feel much more worthy in themselves.
My name is Simone Hills, and my role here with Harbour Housing as trainee counsellor and hypnotherapist is to offer therapeutic support and interventions with our clients that live here. It just feels so much more natural to be on site because I can adapt my timetable with the residents, so for example if they're caught up with other things which happens in this sort of world, and by doing that it enables me to build upon sometimes a slow but sure therapeutic alliance with the residents.
The staff, as well as the counsellors, have a good grasp of mental health, and they supported me in a way that fitted in with my individual needs, and I just feel that the counselling really helped me grow. It absolutely helped me grow and help raise my self-esteem as well.
So we're really proud of how the EVA project has started to reduce the discrimination and stigma that women who have addiction issues or mental health problems often face when they're trying to flee domestic abuse and access safe accommodation. There's still work to be done, and keeping the domestic abuse bill in mind, we really want to support this and campaign for the pathway for women with complex needs who've experienced domestic abuse to be able to get their own secure tenancy and be offered the same opportunities as anyone fleeing domestic abuse who is looking for housing.
I'm very ready to live independent. I'm happy to say that. Very ready to live independently now. So I'm making plans. I'm really looking forward to that.
It's been a long road to find somewhere more permanent to move on, and it's been so frustrating at times. But I've finally been offered a tenancy in my own flat, and I'm so looking forward to moving on. And I'm really grateful I've been able to come here when I really needed it.
I suppose it's easy to take for granted feeling safe and secure in your own home, but the most overwhelming feedback I've had from residents and staff on the EVA project is that we've dramatically increased women's feelings of safety. And whether someone is housed with us for a few months or maybe a year or more, in the time that they're with us, we hope that we can increase their feelings of self-worth and let them know that that's how they should feel. So it's really exciting to have reached the 2-year milestone of the EVA project, and I'm excited about the future. We can continue to deliver this service, and my hope is that our model around elastic tolerance and a new approach to reframing how we work with women who've experienced domestic abuse can be delivered elsewhere in the country, and so for all of the positive learning and outcomes that we've managed to get over the last 2 years can be used to support more women. We're really grateful for the support of our commissioners and of the wider community who understand what we're trying to do, and we hope that our message is clear that we want to be as inclusive as we can and support as many women to disclose abuse and to flee from abuse as possible.